Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how I make and edit my YouTube thumbnails on my iPhone. I use a couple different apps, but the main one I use is called Phonto, and then if I ever want to adjust the color of a photo or add a filter, I'll either use VSCO or Colourtone. So let's get started. The first thing that I do is find a picture that I want to use for my thumbnail. Obviously, make sure whatever picture you use as your thumbnail is representative of the video that you made. For example, if you're making a thrift haul video, don't use a picture of Barney. For most of my videos, I either use a picture of my face or I use a picture of whatever I'm going to be talking about. So for example, in what I got for my 18th birthday video, I made a collage of 4 different pictures of me holding up some of the things I got in my 18th birthday video. For example, a backpack and a computer. Then the other option I tend to lean towards is pulling images from Google. In my most recent video, which was my college dorm tour vlog, I searched up college dorm on Google and then used a couple photos from Google to make a collage for my thumbnail. It's important to make thumbnails aesthetic or at least visually appealing, and that's where VSCO and Colourtone come in. Once I find the picture or pictures that I want to use as my thumbnail, I'll put them into VSCO or Colourtone to brighten them up and make them look better. But before I even do that, I'll put them in the regular old Photos app and change the exposure, the brilliance, highlights, shadows, contrast, brightness, black point, saturation, vibrancy, temperature, tint, and definition. Then, once I get the picture to how I like it, I'll put it in VSCO and find a filter that matches the video's vibe. And just an FYI, if you ever want to use a VSCO filter that's premium and you don't want to pay for it, you can still use the filter by just adding it on, go to an editing icon, screenshot it, and then back in your Photos app on your iPhone, just crop the image. The picture might be a little bit blurry then, but because thumbnails are so small, you won't be able to tell in the actual thumbnail. Now, if I don't end up liking any of the filters on VSCO, I'll go ahead and put the photo in Colourtone and use the filter Maldives. That is actually one of my favorite filters of all time because it makes your skin look really tan and everything look really good. Alright, now that we got the picture looking how we want it, we're gonna go ahead and put the photo in Phonto. So what you'll want to do is click the camera button on the bottom and click Plain Images. Choose whatever color you want. It really doesn't matter because you're not going to be seeing the color anyways at the end. Then we're going to change the size to make it custom, and it's going to be 1280 by 720. That's the size of a YouTube thumbnail. Then we're going to press Use. Alrighty, now we can add in the picture we deliberately edited earlier, and we're going to resize it to how we want it. There's the option to tilt it, change the width and height, and remove it if you ever change your mind about the photo. Now we can add some text. There are a bunch of cool fonts to choose from on Phonto. However, I actually found some really cool ones online, so I'm going to show you guys how to import them from the web. Don't worry, this video is not sponsored, and this is actually really fast and easy. So you're just going to go to defont.com, and you're going to find a font that you like, and then you're going to click download. Then once your browser has downloaded it, you're going to open it, select the zip file, and copy it to Phonto. Once you go back to Phonto, it'll be there waiting for you. So then you're just going to hit install, and then boom, you've got a brand new beautiful font. Just so you guys know, for future reference, any font that you download from the web will be stored in my fonts, just so you know where they're located. And then some other cool effects that I found in Phonto right off the bat for text was that you can curve the text if you want to be a little more aesthetic. You can change the color of the text, the outline and background, and you can also change the specific color of the text if it's not the color you want. So for example, if I wanted a gold text here, they don't have a preset for that, they only have yellow, but I can play around with the color levels of yellow to get the gold shade that I desire. Now, if you want a background on your text, you can make the shape a little more interesting than the rectangle it automatically gives you. So you're just going to go to the bottom, click either Fill or ABC, depending on what kind you want, and then choose the type of banner you like. Now, if you really want to get creative with your text, you can also add a shadow and change the letter spacing. Alright, once you got the picture and text how you want it, you can go to Add Item for cute little stickers. Quick note here, if you're ever working on Phonto and you need to take a break for some reason, like your dog pooped on the floor, just click Save Project. I learned this the hard way. If you end up closing the app while you're still in the middle of it and you didn't click save, all of your work is going to be lost. So unless you're going to be finishing your thumbnail in one sitting, definitely make sure to press save project. On another really important note, if you ever want to add a PNG, like one of those transparent images to your thumbnail, just go on Google and search up a PNG of whatever image you want, add it to your iPhone photos, and then just import it like any other photo. I know I use PNGs on my thumbnails to add logos or a little bit of bedazzle. Alright, so back to adding items. These can just add a little bit of like a bedazzle to your project and make it look a little more professional. I personally like to use the stars, the hearts, and I also really like the decorative stickers, but I haven't really found a way to use them in my thumbnails yet, so hopefully I do in the future because they are really pretty. Alright, then once you've added your items, your text, whatever else you want, just click upload and save image, and then you're done. Whew. Once you do this a couple of times, you'll get the hang of it and creating thumbnails will go by super fast. Alright, if you guys want to stick around for a few more minutes, I'm actually going to go through and show you guys how I made some of my previous thumbnails that I've used on my own YouTube videos.
Alright, so I'm going to show you how I transformed this image into this thumbnail. The first thing that I do is I go and put it in Colourtone, and I use the filter Maldives, which they conveniently renamed while I was making this video. So it is called something else now. Then I save the image, and then I go into Phonto once I have the image looking how I want it. And I opened a previous project and I just deleted everything off of it so I could have the right sizing of the thumbnail. I imported the image, resized it to fit the original size. And then I went ahead and put some text on it saying graduation, since that was the topic of my video, and then it was also during COVID-19. So I put that in a different font just so the two wouldn't clash. And then I put a black shadow and outline on the graduation, and then I changed the during COVID-19 to green since it's a virus and most viruses are green. And then I just kind of rearranged it, resized it to make it look better. And then I added a bunch of stars to make it look pretty. I had to add a lot of stars, and I added both the single stars and the cluster of stars just to give it some texture. And I changed the size to make them a little bit smaller. And you'll notice that the thumbnail right now it is pretty big, but when you actually save the image, it's going to be cropped, so you won't actually be able to see the word Greendale in the back. So just be aware, if you ever have a picture that's bigger than the thumbnail size, it's going to be cut off. So just make sure that whatever you want to be in the thumbnail is in the black part behind where my image is right now. So yeah, I just keep adding a bunch of stars to the right and to the left, and then when I'm done, I'll go ahead and save the image. And then that's the end of that one. That's what it looks like. And that was the original one. And finally, I'm going to show you how I transformed this image into this thumbnail. So you could probably see that the background had a bunch of money in it. So how I got it was I got PNG from Google and then just uploaded it into Phonto. So of course I'm going to resize the thumbnail to the actual YouTube thumbnail size, import this regular old image, and then I'm going to import my background money so I look really rich. It's pretty cool. And when you're editing these thumbnails, sometimes it takes a lot of playing around and just finding the right angle, right tilts for everything. And that's exactly what I'm doing right here, right now. I'm just kind of messing around with the size and the position of the money just the way I want it. So I have to add a couple more in there to fill up the background behind me. So we'll just watch me do that for a few seconds. And then I'm going to add my text, which was that I got over $150,000, and then I changed the font. And then I also changed the color to green, since money is green. We have a lot of green in this video, I just noticed. And I'm also going to change the stroke to black and add kind of a transparent background. And you can do that by changing the alpha in the background. And then I'm going to add the money bag emoji because I'm money bags, obviously. And I got the money in 6 months, so that's why I put those words in there. 6 months with a white background so it stands out from the rest and you can actually see the words. And I just position it. And then next I'm going to add an arrow. So it's going to be pointing from the $150,000 to the 6 months. That way it kind of draws your attention. And in the original thumbnail that I did, I used a PNG arrow that I got from Google again. But I was too lazy to look it up and find the exact one, so I'm just using one that I got from the Phonto library in the items. And then I just am going to reposition it, and then that's it. I saved it, and you can see that that's the one I just did. And that's that.
Let me know if you guys have any questions or anything that I didn't answer in this video in the comments down below. I'll make sure to answer any questions that you have. And I will see you next week. Bye!